good morning, good afternoon, and now I'm going to talk about divine masculine. Welcome to my channel, Be With Love. I went in on divine feminine yesterday, so now I'm going to put in some time on divine masculine. I have two articles on divine masculine. One is Mind, Body, and Green, mindbodygreen.com, and the other is a Loner Wolf article. I just love their articles, so I always go to that one. But for now, I'm going to just go into the Google search divine masculine, common traits, and how to awaken this. That's the mind, body, and green. What is divine masculine? Divine masculine is a very action based, focused on doing rather than being, where the divine feminine represents universal motherhood, spiritual author of the self love experiment, the Shannon Crazer explains that the divine masculine is the universal fatherhood energy. He's like the divine man. So, mind, body, and green. What the divine masculine is all about and how to balance the divine feminine by Sarah Regan. And it was written April 9th of 2021, so it's not that old. Divine masculine, like most of the time when you talk about divine masculine, it always references divine feminine because divine feminine is she's a big deal. So and then divine masculine, we don't have many divine masculines. It's hard because most of them are toxic and none of them embrace their divinity. So it's not common for you to find a divine masculine. You find more divine feminines than divine masculines. But that's my own take on that. Divine masculine and divine feminine energy exists in all things, people included. Not to be confused with the male versus female. Divine feminine and masculine energies can be assessed by all of us. And part of the spiritual path is getting them to a state of balance. So that's true. Like we embody both energies, masculine and feminine energies. Like you have single mothers, single moms have to be masculine, have to embody that energy so that they can take control and lead the family. Because they don't have a divine masculine, so we have to take that role. We have to take that energy, still be divine feminine, but you got to be divine masculine too. What is the divine masculine? Examples through history. The concept of the divine masculine comes from masculine archetypes, seen throughout many spiritual traditions, Hinduism to Greek mythology to Christianity. Think Shiva, Zeus, and even the idea of a masculine god or father in Christianity. These figures represent divine masculine through the qualities they embody. As an intuitive counselor and sacred space designer emphasizes to MBG, that's MBG is mind, body, green. Divine masculine is about archetypes, it's not about men and women. So even though these archetypes are historically male, they more of a frame of reference or a touchstone when thinking about what the divine masculine is all about, which brings us to our next point. Like, what is divine masculine? Like, what makes you divine masculine? Like, I want to know. So, traits of the divine masculine. The divine masculine is very action based, focused on doing rather than being, where the divine feminine represents universal motherhood, spiritual author of self love experiment. Crazer explains that the divine masculine is universal fatherhood energy. It's all about things like structure, logic, and taking charge. Okay, that's what women embody. When we have to be the man, we have to take charge. So that's when you have to embrace your masculine energy. The divine masculine energy is at play with things like assertiveness, confidence, speaking up for yourself, and sometimes fighting the good fight. They compare divine masculine and divine feminine, where divine feminine energy can be more passive and willing to compromise. There are things in the world we do need to fight for, and situations where we need to draw a line in the sand about what's right or wrong. The masculine is good at setting boundaries that way. Similarly, this plays into the idea of strength, she adds, and not just physical but emotional strength as well. Divine masculine is energy, deeply connected to the warrior within each of us, where divine feminine energy can be very internal and reflective. Divine masculine energy relishes relishes in doing things out of the real world, like having adventures, making change, saying what's on your mind, and taking risk. It's also an energy that's often associated with things like logic and critical thinking. Keywords to keep in mind when related to the divine masculine. So, divine masculine, so they listed like 11 things. So let's go. Number 1 is risk taking. 2 is assertiveness. 3 is action oriented. 4 is discipline. So divine masculine is disciplined, like, and he has his boundaries. He sets boundaries. That's 5. He has confidence. Is 6. Objectivity. That means he has an opinion. He's gonna express it. Logic and analysis. That means that he can make sense of things, like he actually thinks. Actually thinks. Number 9 is a warrior. Number 10 is yang. So like with divine feminine, we're yin and yang. So it's like together we are one. And 11 is survival. So the difference between divine feminine and masculine, again, everyone has access to both masculine and feminine energy, regardless of sex or gender. The divine feminine and divine masculine can be thought of like yin and yang. That's what I just said that. They're both necessary for balance, but they are different. Too much feminine energy can lead to indecisiveness and not enough action, and too much masculine can lead to domineering nature and even war. The objective is to strive for your own balance of the two. Take the example of a leader, for example. Leadership may be thought of as a more divine masculine quality, but how can one be a leader in a way that honors the feminine? Considering compassion and needs of others as the primarily functions of a relationship. No, of leadership. Of leadership. I'm thinking about a relationship. It's important to note that this balance won't look exactly the same for everyone. Some people that have more of the divine feminine or divine masculine may find that works really well for them. Some people that have more of the divine feminine or divine masculine may find that it works really well for them. It's not about making everyone the same. We're all different. And we all have both energies, and you're going to meet different people. Some have all divine feminine energy, some have all divine masculine energy. We're all different, but we're all the same at the same time. How to awaken the divine masculine within. Feel like you're lacking divine masculine energy in your life? Here are some ways to usher it in using affirmations. Affirmations are powerful tools for shifting your mindset and activating certain parts of yourself. In this case of the divine masculine, you can think about affirmations related to some of the aforementioned masculine traits, like strength, discipline, and logic. Here are a handful to get you started. So they're in bullets. So it's like, this is an affirmation, like, I am a warrior. I am a master of self-discipline. I see things clearly and objectively. I am confident. And I know when to take action. That's affirmations for divine masculine. Number 2, you take risks with confidence. The divine masculine doesn't shy away from a little risk. If you're someone who has lots of great ideas, for example, but you're afraid to put it out into the world, divine masculine qualities are necessary to make your vision a reality and meet your goals. But willing to take risks, Hope for the best, but remain unattached to the outcome. That's meant for you. What's meant for you will be. So trust the things that will work out as they should and go for it. Number 3, start where you are. Similarly, be willing to start where you are, even if you don't feel 100% ready. Excess feminine energy can cause stagnation and inaction. So when in doubt, do something. It's about being able to assert oneself, but still maintain that integrity with who you are. Just having confidence and not downplaying it. So, it's confident. It's like you have to take action. Like when you want something, you have to do something. That could be like when I started my YouTube channel, it's like I could be scared. I could be scared to start my channel. I was like, oh, I didn't want to start it, but it's like there's so much to say, there's so much to put out there. Like there's so much I want to put out there and get into. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just have to put myself out there and just do it. So and then I had to embrace my divine masculine. So when in doubt, do something. Like don't sit there and do nothing and waste time, and gotta get up and do something. I'm sorry. Number 4, work with masculine teachers, archetypes, and deities. I don't even know one. We have Oshun. We have Shango. Shango is one. That's the thunder god. Let me read. I'm sorry. Consider the ideas you feel strong in, where you may struggle, and how patterns play out for you as a result. Figure out what areas you want to work on and call on any divine masculine archetypes, deities, or even modern teachers to help inspire you. Kinley suggests asking yourself what you can learn from these archetypes and how can you integrate some of their energies while staying true to yourself. Less internalization and more action. So it's like less of going within. Divine feminine always goes within. Divine masculine doesn't do that. He takes action. So along with taking risk and starting where you are, it's important to start recognizing where you're keeping a lot of ideas internal and wanting to perfect it before putting it out into the world. One approach that could help, she notes, is learning your intuition to help when to take action, as this leans on the feminine as well, but try to recognize when you may be overthinking. So that's less internalization. Like you can think about things but don't stay stuck there. It's like you have to keep going. You have to move forward and you have to take action in your things. So it's like you could think about it for a day or two and then it's like, you got to get up and do something. That's divine masculine. Heal your relationship to the masculine. Perhaps you've had experience with the masculine before, whether the result of your interactions with men, overly aggressive people, or even your father. Suggest looking at these moments when you may be stuck in a historical reaction to the masculine, particularly if you've had trouble embodying it before. Dwell into your own ideas of what the divine masculine is, why it matters, and how you can start integrating it. Like how can you start putting it into your own life? Number 7 is stand up for yourself. Like I like a leader. I like somebody that's straightforward. I like somebody that speaks up for themselves. It's like, if something's wrong, say something. Like, why are you eating your words? Why are you taking people's abuse? Like, no, like I like a man that's a man that can just stand up for yourself. I shouldn't have to stand up for a man. Like the man, stand up for yourself. That's number 7. And lastly, remember that sometimes we do have to set boundaries and stick up for ourselves, even if it means pressing someone else's buttons. It's not that you want to hurt anyone, but when we don't stand for what we believe in, we actually hurt ourselves. There are certainly moments when they will have to put up a fight, and that's okay. Like if you fight for what you believe in. The bottom line, there are a lot of misconceptions about what masculinity and the femininity mean nowadays, but it's becoming more and more clear that we all have our own balance of both. Just like yin and yang, the divine masculine and divine feminine work in tandem. They work together in constant flux. That means it's, you know, and when they're balanced, both within us and within the world, we're much better off. So that was this article. I'm gonna go into another. I'm gonna make another video about the second article. The second article is Loner Wolf. I like the Loner Wolf articles, and I was smiling to myself. I was thinking of relationships because there was an issue that I had, and it's like I kept it to myself, and then it's like it was just bringing me all this trouble and all this hardships, and I had to tell my partner like what was going on, and he just fixed it right away. Like he just knew what to do, and I didn't even know what to say, but it's like I love that. Like I love that about him, because it's like didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, or I didn't want to cause any more problems, but it's like, he took control of the situation and he handled it, and I'm just like, thank you. Like, yes, like thank you so much. But that's why I was smiling to myself. Like I was in the middle of the article, and I just was like, I was thinking of relationships, and I was just thinking of this relationship, and I'm just like, wow, like that's divine masculine. That's I was just happy. But anyway, thanks for listening, and check out for the other video later. Always lead with love, and thanks for watching. Bye.